Look, I studied environmental science at school, even though I knew that that wouldn't give me a great result because I wasn't very good at maths or anything. And it was the first year that you could. Because I was fascinated by the environment at 17 or whatever. My father was for a while president of the Native Plants Association. We used to have to go and weed the yuyangs and stuff like that on the weekends. He would point out all of the little relationships between plants and other creatures, and the rest of the family would be trying to get over the next hill, and he would always kind of slow us down and show us how, flycatcher plants would be catching something, or he'd always be pointing stuff out. That was inspiring as a kid to watch him, also to watch him paint in the bush, and he'd do business in the morning as a travelling salesman and then paint in the afternoon, and we'd often go with him so that we'd go wild in the bush while he was painting. So yeah, quite strong memories of him collecting objects and leaving them on the mantelpiece, and my mother getting rid of them on a regular basis, and he would just continue to collect the objects. And it's taken me decades to realise that I'm doing the same thing, except no one's getting rid of them, and they're mounting up. Yeah, so and they're appearing in my work. I more collect plants that I find on the margins of human activity, really. Things that are on the edges of tracks or the edges of school grounds that have had some interaction with humans in a way. Not always, but usually on the edge of a path that I feel like that I want to give them some kind of voice. Every extraneous detail is gone, but they're still very much alive to me. They're almost like that one, especially, is like a figure or something. So from the point of collecting it, I don't always use them in my work, but this one I have. There's still a really strong sense of a life force, even once it's at the point where it doesn't have any green colour or leaves or anything, and I quite like that point to work with it. It's not going to change either. I guess working with something that's alive is quite challenging to me in a way. So I like being able to hold them. So I like them to be small enough to be able to work. I guess to have a really intimate communication with them is, it's just a treat to work with them. And I feel like they make the work to a large extent. They do. They tell me what to do. In a sense, I'm just bringing things out that are already there, or just kind of nudging them a little bit. I thought that maybe I could do something useful with the environment movement. So I joined a youth group called Inspect and met other people there who've since become artists, like Harry Nankin. And we saved parcels of land and we did various things. But I sort of felt that maybe I could be more use as an artist. I rode down to Observatory Beach, and the erosion's extraordinary, but when I was there in winter of 2015, the trees, the moonas and the tea tree and everything, and the leucopogons were literally falling into the sea faster than I could photograph them, faster than I could draw them. It was as if the whole bay was eroding in front of my eyes, and I knew that it was partly dredging, and that had changed the shape and everything of Port Phillip Bay. We're running out of time, and so I can't be so. Maybe I shouldn't be quite so subtle anymore, you know, with the work, and maybe it is time to make work that's, you know, I almost feel like doing the whole coastline, just, and it's only one aspect of climate change, but I think it's a fairly serious one. You know, I've had conversations with people that said, "Oh, we're lucky in Australia; it doesn't affect us," and you know, I've tried to point out, well, most of us live in cities and most of them are on the coast. I mean, that's just one aspect of it, but apart from, you know, obviously temperature changes, etc. And I just think all of those things, I just want to, I guess, represent all of those things in the work if I can. So I just think the materials transform as you transform, really, and you know, you use whatever is appropriate to the idea.